When you think of video courses, do you think of a talking head? A board that's hard to read? Constant pauses and rewinds? Roman Roads Media has teamed with Logos School, Canon Press, and other classical educators to pair the excellence of classical education with quality production, tailored to the homeschooler. Our goal is to make your child love learning by combining clear instruction with visual aids and examples. Poetry is a language of pictures and music. Like any language, simply listening to the beauty of the sounds isn't enough. To appreciate and understand poetry, you need to know its grammar. Matt Whitling, author of the original best-selling The Grammar of Poetry textbooks, teaches this video course and guides the students through all the building blocks of poetry in a similar way that an English teacher would teach grammar, going through elements such as meter, rhyme, iambs, trochees, anapaests, dactyls, onomatopoeia, alliteration, rhetorical questions, oxymorons, personification, spatial poetry, and more. He does this by means of the classical approach of imitation. Since poetry is a language of pictures and music, each module in the course has a lesson that teaches a trope or image of poetry, such as personification, followed by a lesson teaching an element of the music of poetry, such as meter. The module concludes with an imitation lesson, which allows the student to imitate and practice what he just learned. The producers at Roman Roads Media were homeschooled in France, far away from homeschool support groups. While the best option would be for Matt Whitling to come teach your child in person, they wanted to bring the best elements from Matt Whitling's classroom to your home using video-based technology. As Matt Whitling pulls from years of classroom experience, the student gets to watch him work through numerous exercises and actual student examples, make and correct real-life mistakes, and hear him read the poems. The course includes riddle rendezvous sections, filmed with a different teacher, and poetry readings by various readers throughout the course so that the student is reminded of the big picture of the language of poetry while he's learning its grammar. The Grammar of Poetry was designed for the 6th to 9th grade range. Are you proficient with such terms as meter, rhyme, iambs, trochees, anapaests, dactyls, onomatopoeia, alliteration, rhetorical questions, oxymorons, personification, and spatial poetry? If you never learned these concepts in high school, you're not alone. Neither did Matt Whitling when he graduated from college. A college student who is taking advanced poetry classes would benefit by this course just as much as the middle schooler. In short, the Grammar of Poetry is designed for any person who can read well. This is a grammar course for a very special language. We invite you and your kids to learn the language of poetry with us. To find out more, go to romanroadsmedia.com.
We teach math class. We're not expecting them all to become mathematicians. We teach history, and we're not expecting them all to become historians. We teach them poetry, not because we expect them all to become professional vocational poets, but because we want all of them to be able to speak well. If you teach them the rhythms of poetry, you're getting it down into their bones. It really is striking.
We homeschooled our children for 16 years, and we were a military family for the entire time that we were homeschooling our oldest 4 boys. And
of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree.
If it's accented, it receives a stress. If it's unaccented, it receives a breathe. Once you've put in your stresses and your breathes, you look for patterns and you put foot boundaries around your patterns.
I tear her tattered ensign down. Long has it waved on high, and many an eye has danced to see that banner in the sky.
Number 3, an egg hitting the sidewalk.